Hi guys and gals, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to learn how to align the rip fence parallel to the saw blade. Once again, we're using this owner's manual from 1956, which still has some good information in it. In this picture it shows to see if the rip fence is parallel to the miter slots, you just line it up and clamp it down, and then you check with your fingers to see if it's parallel to the slot. And then it shows if you want to adjust the fence, all you have to do is loosen a couple screws and then adjust it and tighten them back down. In a previous video I showed how I aligned the blade to the miter slot. So actually we don't have to line up the fence to the blade, we're going to line it up to the miter slot because this is where we started in our alignment process. So if I was going to go through the whole process again, I would start from the beginning, which is first align the blade to the miter slot, and then we align the fence to the miter slot. So everything goes back to our point of reference, which is this miter slot. And as I mentioned before, these miter slots are not perfectly parallel. This one is a little, well, they're both off from each other, right? One can't be more off than the other. But I align the blade to this one, so I'm also going to align the rip fence to this one, and then just try to avoid using this miter slot whenever possible. So let's loosen it up. And I found the best way to get accurate setting with this is to really press on this side, because it has a small, relatively small bearing surface here. So you really got to press on it with one hand to make sure it's firmly against that side, and then bring it right up to the edge of that miter slot, and then I'll clamp it down with this hand while still firmly pressing with the other hand. It's a little hard to see, but if I run my finger along here, I can feel a little bit of the tabletop here, and then it goes parallel right about here, and then the fence is overhanging just a little bit there. So the whole fence is just twisted slightly this way. So if this side is too far this way, and this side is too far this way, that means that the little part on here needs to go that way a little bit on this side. So I'm going to loosen it up slightly. Let's try that. No, that's no good. I think I actually made it worse, but you can always try again. Let's see here. No, I'm thinking about it the opposite way. So I keep making it worse, which at least shows me that I'm going in a direction, not necessarily the right direction. I actually need to make this go out a little bit. I was making it go in. Let's try it all the way out. Trial and error. It'll get you there. Not the fastest way. Yep, now it's way too far. See if I can just loosen it up a little bit and knock it a little bit so it's not, I'm not starting from scratch each time here. Looks better. Kind of back to where I started here. So after quite a few tries, a little wiggling back and forth, I finally got it pretty good. And of course it's pretty hard to see, but really you can feel it. So if I check on this side, I can feel it's really even. can't feel like it's not, the rip fence isn't over the edge, and the edge isn't over the rip fence. So it's pretty even. When we take a look at the other side, it feels just about the same. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. You're not going to get it exactly perfect, and I certainly didn't get this perfect, but it's pretty close. So you might want to think about, if you're going to have some error, which side would you like it to go towards? So this end, do we want it to go this way or this way? Well, if you mostly have the rip fence on this side, and you have to have some error, you would want it to go this way. So then when you're putting pieces through here, they're not going to get pinched between the blade and the fence. And actually, some people purposely set up the rip fence so it's slightly away from the blade to try to avoid kickback, because if it binds here, it's going to kick it back. Getting the rip fence set correctly is a little bit tricky. It takes some time, but it's definitely something that's worth doing, both for the sake of accurate cuts and for the sake of safety. So I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, and hope to see you next time. Take care.